What can I say? I'm trying my best Mikel Arteta impression. Cojones. Cojones. I tell you what, Arteta, that risk, it paid off. The risk you took yesterday, boy, it paid off. Welcome back to my channels, guys. Channel, guys. It's your boy Tosin, obviously. Midday working, brain is a bit, But yeah, I had to get a video in real quick. Yeah, man. As the title of this video says, we took a risk yesterday. Arsenal took a risk and it paid off. I want to talk about all things Arsenal, Brighton, my thoughts from it, a match reaction. Yeah, let's get into it, man. We made 10 changes. Obviously, I did a starting 11 video and crazy. It's a starting 11 I wanted to see. I did not think Arteta would do it. I did not think he'd do it. I thought for sure he's going to start like a Saka or a Gyökeres. But man, he did it. I think I called... Yeah, I think I pretty much... The starting 11 I actually put out, it was only just... It was right bar one. And obviously, that I didn't realise Martinelli was injured. I must have missed that. I know he went off, but I didn't know that he wouldn't. I must have missed Arteta's comments about... I must have missed his comments about Martinelli not being injured, but it is what it is. Obviously, Harriman and Anus came in. We had a lot of changes, It was interesting. And before I get into the actual performance itself, I think we have to talk about the changes, man. 10 changes is a lot of changes against the Brighton team who, for me, I was surprised, actually. I was surprised that they rested some players as well. Like, I thought for sure. Obviously, they started some players, like, for example, what's my man, the Dutch guy that used to play for Leeds? I've forgotten his name. The one that had a really good chance in the first half, that Kepa makes a good save. Forgotten his name. Brain freeze. Anywho, yeah, I was surprised. I would have thought Brighton would have gone as strong a team as possible, which was a bit weird to me. I mean, I get that obviously the league is very, very intense, but man, especially after seeing what Palace were capable of doing last season and Newcastle were capable of doing last season, surely you would have thought Brighton should have actually gone for it more. Which performance-wise they went for it, but I thought they could have started a stronger team. But it is what it is. We profit. I don't mind. Thank you, God. One of the things Arteta said watching his post-match conference was he was very, very happy with the win. And he said something that I think is very contextual. He said, not only did we make a lot of changes, we had players playing who have never played together before. Some who haven't even played at all this season, right? So if you look at this win, beating a Premier League team, who, yeah, fair enough, they did rest players as well. We did ride our luck. Man, that's a really good result. 2-0 and another clean sheet to boot. What's that? 6 games now in a row we've gone without conceding. We haven't conceded a goal in the month of October. That is brazy. That is crazy. Man, the risk paid off. It was a risk though, because now getting into the match itself, that first half, wow. How we weren't losing, I don't know. Actually, I do know. Kepa had a really good game. He had a good game, man. You have to argue that he saved us. He saved us that first half. If not for him, Kepa and just bad finishing from Brighton, who did everything right up until the final action. That first half, and this is why I mentioned the whole changes, because yes, some may say, yes, Arsenal were lucky. Yeah, we were lucky. We were lucky that they didn't score. We were lucky that they didn't score. We were lucky that that Kepa was on form. We were lucky that Brighton did not score. However, at the same time, look at the manner of the goals. Look at how they come. The first chance comes from a loose Hincapié pass. Second chance comes from a loose Norgard pass. Another chance comes from really amateur positioning of our players from a corner, from their corner. When's the last time you've seen Arsenal in a transition to that extent at 0-0 in the first half where a team is able to break on us like that from a corner. Our normal defense would never let something like that happen. So why am I sharing that? I'm not trying to get these guys off the hook, right? Because I thought for me, it wasn't a good first half. We were rusty, a couple of bad mistakes there. But at the same time, it made sense why that was the case. Nketiah playing his first ever minutes for Arsenal, playing alongside Mosquera, who looked good for me. However, it's different, him being like little bro alongside Saliba or Gabriel, who can still lead him. Whereas now, it's a back line where you're really looking for Ben White to be the leader, given that he was the most experienced in an Arsenal shirt in the back line. That being said, he's also coming back from injury himself. So he's kind of rusty. How often does he really play with Mosquera? How often? That's the first time that back four's played together. Mosquera, Nketiah, White, and Lewis Skelly, who had a shaky first half as well, but had a much better second half. That midfield, Norgard. Offensively, I didn't think we did enough. I thought Ethan was loose with his passing. First half, Norgard, Ethan, and Marino. I mean, like, when have we seen that combination? And then even the front line. Harriman and Anus, who had a good game in my opinion. Dauman was good. But again, Dauman, Harriman, Anus, Eze on that left. Look, like, this was... We didn't play well, but I'd be a mug if I'm expecting instant chemistry. No, I know it's gonna be tough, and like, yeah, I think Brighton had some good moments. They had some good moments, but a lot of their good moments came just from sloppiness from us, right? It was really sloppy passing. Even the Nketiah pass, the first chance, the Belieber shot on like a minute and a half, and the breakaway. And the Norgard part, the chance for, what's his name, Zimas. The chance for the Dutch guy that gets saved, that was Norgard, and so forth. Sorry, guys. Anyway, what's the point I'm making? The point I'm making is that, look, we should not be surprised that Arsenal weren't that good in the first half. I looked at that team, I'm just like, okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to need Eze to take the lead from a creative point of view. I'm going to need Ethan. I'm going to need Marino. I'm going to need these guys to step up. And the first half, they didn't. It wasn't really great showing. First half was quite poor. But again, a lot of it, Brighton played well. Definitely they played well because they rested players as well, but they played well, right? However, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that, look, we made all of these changes. It was never going to be easy. That was a risk we took, and it was very, very clear. We took a risk playing that team against a team like Brighton, who've knocked us out in the League Cup before. But second half, much better. Much better. I still think Eze is finding his feet. For me, it's weird. It's like, because he's such a good player. I generally rate him. I rate the guy. He's a quality player. I think he's learning. I think he's just having to learn to, I don't know. I think he needs to play the game at a quicker pace. I think at Palace, he could kind of afford to like glide, and you're not going to get that time at Arsenal. You're really not. Like, you're a good player, but you need to up. I think as a team, we need to, but I think with him, he's still finding his feet offensively. He needs to up the tempo. I thought, I didn't really see much of Marino, and this is the good thing, right? Despite all of that, these are the nights where you're looking for some quality from the players who are the offensive leaders in the team. You're looking for that moment of quality, and you're looking for some solidity. And that's what we got in the second half. Because that first goal, wow. The first time the good players, I'm talking in technical quality, the good players finally put a move together. Like, I think that whole move was beautiful. First, the Eze touch to bring it, to take himself away from the defender, play a pass in between the lines to Marino. Marino, quality back heel into Miles Lewis Skelly, who makes a good run. Lewis Skelly to Ethan, first time, bang. Take the shot first time. No touching it, then shooting. First time, bang. Great goal. Great goal. Quality goal. The quality told in the end, right? Quality told. And of course, what can you say? Bringing on Bukayo Saka, we brought on Gabriel. As soon as we brought on Gabriel, it wasn't as nervy defensively anymore. Whereas first half, they looked like they were going to score. Second half, nah. You bring on, especially after we scored that first goal, and you bring on Gabriel. It's lockdown. And they didn't look like scoring again. You know, the guy they had up front, is it Zimas? He looks good. But you bring on Saka, that's what Saka does. Saka's clutch. You can always trust him to be a finisher. You can always trust him in that final third action. I tell you, Saka, when he plays, he's leaving with something. When he plays, he's leaving with a key chance created. He's leaving with an assist. He's leaving with a goal. Saka's not really wasteful when he gets on the ball in these areas, you know. And this is why, for me, he's such a world-class player. World-class player. World-class player, in my opinion. And yeah, of course, he gets the second goal. I have to give a shout out to Yuri Timber. Powerful dribble. Powerful dribble. And wow, like the pass to slip in Harriman and Noose. Wow. Okay. That's kind of what I want to see a bit more of from Timber, because everything else up until that point, Timber is amazing. But if he can add that bit more, which is what he did against Harriman and Noose, wow. Because you can see he's such a technical baller. Dribble, powerful running. You know, I love that about Yuri Timber. He came on as well. Defense looked good. After, I ain't mad. I am not mad at this 2-0 win. Yeah, look, we rode our luck in the first half. We always knew we were going to. When you make that many changes, let's look at other teams that made that many changes and we're still making excuses. We made a lot of changes. Why? Because players are getting injured. However, we were still able to see the game out, win 2-0, progress in a cup we should win. I said it before on other streams. I'm going to say it again. We need to win the Carabao Cup. We're in it. Why not? This is a cup. I don't like this whole... I'm glad that we rotated, right? And for me, it was a risk. For me, it was a risk not in the terms of, oh yeah, these players are duds. It was a risk in the terms of exactly the things I said that Arteta mentioned. That they haven't played a lot of minutes. They don't have the relationships. There's not the chemistry there. So you're kind of asking them to figure that stuff out immediately, right? So that was the risk. How well are they going to do? That was the risk. How well is Hincapié going to do without Gabriel or Saliba? You'd feel a bit better if one of them is playing and one of the newer defenders are playing, so there's some leadership there. It was always going to be a risk. Always going to be a risk. So, boy, Arteta, good on you for being brave. Good on you. So there was a risk in terms of just the player dynamics and the relationships, but those are good players. Those are good players, and eventually the quality eventually told. We had to ride our luck, but I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that Brighton didn't have their shooting boots on. Yeah, we rode our luck, but eventually the quality told, and we started putting some stuff together, and in the end, look, it could have been 3. It could have been 3-0. Obviously, Marino has a chance cleared off the line. Obviously, Arteta would have said something to him at half-time. I just want to shout out Harriman and Noose. Good, decent showing, man, as a 9. He did well. He did well, man, obviously. He gets the shot away. He's unlucky not to score for that second Saka goal. But yeah, man, the guy did well. That was his last action before he went off the pitch. Let's win the Carabao Cup. Let's win it, man. Like, yeah, we took a risk today, but in terms of quality, there was enough quality on the pitch to beat Brighton. And we need to have that mindset, that mentality. I don't want to hear this whole bigger fish to fry. We need to win this. And if the teams get harder, guess what? We may need to start playing we may need to start doing this sort of stuff. What I did like, however, is that Arteta still involved some of the players. Fair enough, Gabriel didn't start. Timber didn't start. Trossard didn't start. Saka didn't start, but they were still involved. I'm glad. It's good that they were still involved. I'm not on this, leave them, don't bring them on, rest them. No. Let's win this trophy. Let us win this. When we won the League Cup, I've not seen, last time I've seen us League Cup final was when we got hammered by Man City, and the time before that was when we got beat by Chelsea, when Walcott scored. This was ages ago. So yeah, I want to win this. And you know what, Arteta, credit to you. Credit to you for being braver. Credit to you for, taking that risk. I honestly, you guys know I'm vocal in my critique of him, right? But I have to say, man, look, the guy's learning. Credit to him. He's learning, man, because I thought the way he managed the team today was top class. I liked how he didn't panic at halftime. He must have said something to them. Okay, cool, show your quality. They did show their quality. And then after they got the goal, then he brought these guys on. I like that. Yeah, I thought he didn't put a foot wrong in terms of his squad management today. It's really, really good. And now we head to Burnley. We head to Burnley, then Slavia Prague, and then who have we got after? I can't remember, but I know we've got back-to-back away games. So, man, him making these changes was a massive for us. Now we go to Burnley. That's a must-win. Every game is a must-win until we win the league. It's a must-win. You know, and now we go there having rested, giving players a good rest. I like that. I like that a lot. And I'm not like I said earlier, this is all being done without Erdegaard, all being done without Havertz, all being done with players getting more and more players getting injured. Like our attacking, the fact that we were able to win 2-0 today when we got Jesus out, Madueke out, Martinelli out, Erdegaard out, Havertz out. These are 5 attacking players that could make an impact for us. Well played, guys. Well played. Well played. Ethan is a baller. I want to see him more. I want to see him. That's just my last words. I want to see him more. What do I mean by that? I want to see him impose himself a bit more. The fact is he loses the ball. A lot of loose passing, but I get it. He's trying to make something happen. I liked what I saw. There was a chance he created for Merino. But I'm highlighting him because I'm looking at this team now, especially if Martinelli is injured long term. If I'm Ethan, I'm trying to find a way. How can I force my way into this team? How can I? And he got his goal today, but I think in terms of his performance and the way he trains, he's probably going to need to make a bigger impression on Arteta because for some reason or another, if that's me heading into Burnley, I'd rather play Eze on the left and put Ethan in the middle and allow Eze to come inside, do his thing. But obviously, you got to trust in the gaffer at the moment. So yeah, I want to see a bit more from him. You know, there's not really much else I want to say. Through to the next round, clean sheet. All this despite a lot of injuries. Gyökeres rested, get some time off. Looking ahead to a run of games where we should be looking to win. No excuses, no complaints, no, oh, we've got injuries, not like other managers. No blaming it on long balls or I don't know, how low a block is and all this sort of stuff. No, we just keep winning. That's what we just need to continue to do. Anyways, guys, that's my match reaction. Thank you so much for listening. All the best. Take care.